Hello children, and welcome to another episode of Social Sciences. And today we are going to talk about the topic of temperate climate. Now, temperate means any difference in climate between those areas that lie close or away from the torrid zone. In other words, not too hot and not too cold. Now, let me explain to you with the help of a diagram. This is our Earth. We have the equator that is running through. This area is hot. Then we have the torrid zone. That means from the Tropic of Cancer to the Tropic of Capricorn. This area, we call it the torrid zone. Now, this area is hot, it rains, and is very humid. However, the temperate climate is from the Tropic of Cancer to the Arctic Circle. This is the Arctic Circle. We are talking about this area, and this is known as temperate zone. That, and from the Tropic of Capricorn to the Antarctic Circle. Okay, this area is known as the temperate zone. Temperate. Temperate. Now, these two zones are the ones that we are going to talk about today. Now, why I like the temperate zone is because they are not too hot and not too cold. In the north, we have the temperate zone from the Tropic of Cancer to the Arctic Circle, and in the south, we have it from the Tropic of Capricorn to the Antarctic Circle. Now, the climate in this region varies in many ways, but the most distinguishing part, that feature of this area, or that means this area, the temperate zone, is the vast grasslands that they have. Now, talking about climate, let's come down to this. It experiences a very warm and cold climate. It also records a large range of temperature depending upon the distance from the sea. This region also receives moderate to low rainfall. That means from around about 300 millimeter rain to 2000 millimeter rain. Now when we are talking about that, it's not like the Amazon or the tropical region. They receive huge amount of rain. In fact, in India, in the state of Meghalaya, we have Mustang, which has the highest rainfall in the world. But in these areas that we are talking about, there is not so much rain, not too little rain. It's just okay. Okay? So, and what happens is, because of this rain, okay, there are many things that there are many variations in the type of climate. First of all, we have the Mediterranean type of climate, okay, which has dry summers and wet winters. Then we have the maritime type of climate that depends upon the distance from the sea. Next, we have the subtropical region, okay, which have hot and humid summers and cold and mild winters. Next, we have the continental type of climate. Continental means nearly in all the continents we have more or less the same type of climate. That means cold winters and hot and humid summers. Now, this type of climate prevails when it is far away from water bodies. Now when we talk about water bodies, we are talking about rivers, we are talking about lakes, we are talking about the sea, we are talking about the oceans. Now, most places in the temperate zone are away from water. Now, and in these regions, let us say that nothing much can grow, okay? It grows, no doubt, but most of it is grass, okay? Grass really prevails in these areas. Now, in the southern hemisphere, grasslands are spread along the coastal regions, okay? And the climate in this coastal region is very pleasant and moderate. Now, my dear children, we are going to move on to the flora and fauna of the region. Now, grasslands are known by different names. In North America, they are known as the prairies. South America, they are known as pampas. Europe, they are known as steppes. In Asia, they are known as the savannas. South Africa, they are known as veldts. And in Australia, they are known as downs. Now, the vegetation in these grasslands consists of short grass, thorny bushes, and shrubs. Now, this depends upon the region in which we are talking about. Like in the temperate zone, those that are closer to the sea have got different sort of climates, so therefore different vegetations. But however, grass in these regions, okay, vary according to length, season, and the variety. There are different types of grass also, okay. Now, they grow tall in the prairies and short in the steppes. They grow thick in summers, green in spring, and dry out in autumn. Their growth is slow in winter, especially in the northern hemisphere. This happens due to the higher altitude compared to the southern hemisphere. Now we're going to talk about the animals. The grasslands are a home to a variety of animals. We have the bison, which is like a huge ox, massive, really big in size, very hairy. Then we have the grizzly bear. Grizzlies are usually, or are, the biggest bears on earth. Then we have the Mustang. The Mustang is a horse which is found abundantly, okay, in the prairies because there's a lot of grass for it to eat. Then we have the coyotes. The coyote is a kind of a fox which is in North America and is found in these grasslands. Then we have prairie dogs, rattlesnakes, hawks, lark. Now, larks are small birds that are in hundreds and thousands. They live together, and when they are moving around in the sky, when they're flying around in the sky all together, it looks like a dark cloud. They are so huge in number. And then we have the famous American eagle that is known as the bald eagle. Now, this is what we are talking about, are the animals that are found in North America. Then, the jaguar and the peccary is found in the pampas, that is in South America. And we have the ostrich, the biggest bird species that is usually found in Africa. And then in Australia, we have the famous kangaroo, which is nowhere else on earth we find it except in Australia. That is the kangaroo. It has a third leg, that means its tail. Then we have the koala bears, which are very cuddly little things. Okay, they're small, they're not so big. Okay. Then we have the wallabies, are also there in Australia. Now we are going to talk about the people of this region. People of the temperate zone or the temperate belt. You see, these regions are well populated, not overly populated, but well populated due to the favorable climate and the huge plains, which support extensive farming like wheat, maize, barley, rye, and oats are largely grown in these areas. This region is known as the granary of the world. It also supports pastoral industries, for example, cattle rearing and sheep rearing industries. In Argentina, cowboys who look after the cattle are known as gauchos. They all also look after the cattle industries. Unlike Argentina, tribal culture prevails in regions of Africa and Asia. Khoi, San, and Bantu tribes live in the grasslands of South America. Kyrgyz, Turks, and Mongolians inhabit the temperate zones of Central Asia. These tribes are nomadic and live mainly by livestock rearing. Now, children, we have come to the end of this video. However, I would like you to go into the PPTs, which I will be sending to you shortly, and look at the different pictures, the different animals that I have uploaded, so that you get a better idea of the chapters that I have explained. Please look into the PPTs, stay safe, stay at home, and be always in touch with us. Thank you. Have a good day.